Wow. What a stunner that was, right? Man, Donald Trump is the next president of the United States of America. How does that sound, America? Man, I gotta be honest with you. I laughed my ass off when I first saw the news that Donald Trump was going to be the president. As a leftist, I did my duty and I voted for our third party candidate, Jill Stein, a very intelligent and thoughtful woman. Her vice president, Jamu Baraka, I thought they ran a very nice campaign. God bless them. But in terms of watching Donald Trump beat Hillary Clinton, I ain't even gonna lie to you, I laughed. There's this old song by Radiohead called Karma Police. And I think the refrain goes, "This is what you get." And that's kind of how I felt watching those results. The Democratic Party lied, cheated, schemed, as I covered in my last video, how the media's rigging the election for Hillary Clinton and liberals aren't leftists. Check it out. It's on my channel. These people lied, cheated. They suppressed votes in California and New York. They slandered Bernie Sanders. They tried to slander his ethnicity. They tried to turn him into some horrible racist, even though this is a man who marched with Martin Luther King. Like, seriously, they did all this to the most popular politician in America, which he is. Bernie Sanders is more popular than the entire Democratic Party. And they did that. They slandered that poor man. They stole the nomination from him on the assumption that it was Hillary Clinton's time. We're going to make history. We're going to make the American public vote for her. They even helped Donald Trump. If you look at WikiLeaks, they helped Donald Trump actually gain the Republican nomination. They pumped him up when it was a field of 17 in the Republican candidates field. They propped Donald Trump up because they thought he'd be the easiest to beat. So you gotta see how insanely hilarious this is. Now let me put a disclaimer on all this. I am no fan of Donald Trump. I believe the man is a con artist. I have no love for Donald Trump, for Rudolph Giuliani, for Sheriff David Clark, for Chris Christie, for any of these people who were Trump surrogates, who defended some of the insane things that he said and did and whatnot. But this ain't about him. This is about how the Democratic Party betrayed itself and played itself. This is what you did to yourselves. You played yourself. You had the most popular candidate riding a populist wave of popularity, a guy who was destroying and dismantling Donald Trump in every single poll possible. And you guys slandered him. You beat him up. And then after the deed was done, you made him go out there. You castrated that man and made him go out there and shield for Hillary Clinton, a woman who's the epitome of Wall Street excess, decadence, greed, a warmonger, a woman who accepted millions of dollars from dictators and warlords in order to put more money in her and her husband's pockets. And this is how the American public reacts. Though you put the one candidate out there who could lose to Donald Trump. You put the one candidate out there who could lose to Donald Trump. This is why the Democrats lost the election. Don't blame this on sexism. Shirley Chisholm could have beat Donald Trump. Geraldine Ferraro could have beat Donald Trump. Ann Richards could have beat Donald Trump. Jennifer Granholm could have beat Donald Trump. There are so many women out there who could have stood up and took the abuse that Donald Trump was putting out there and done a much better job than Hillary Clinton did. Because everything Donald Trump said was true about her. Just like everything Barack Obama said about Hillary Clinton was true. Just like everything Bernie Sanders said about Hillary Clinton was true. And she lost to all three for the same reason. Well, she didn't lose to Bernie. She should have lost. She would have lost without all the chicanery. The woman was a corporate industrial complex establishment puppet. And the liberals betrayed us leftists and stuck her out there expecting people to vote for her because they told them to vote for her. You expected us black people to vote for her because, oh, what are we going to do? Well, what are you going to do? We said no. Yeah, overwhelmingly black people voted for her, but she didn't get anywhere near the turnout she needed. Hispanics did not turn out for her the way that they thought they would. Asians, Donald Trump did 10 percentage points better with Asians than Mitt Romney did. That's insane. And in some places, Donald Trump got a third of the Hispanic vote. Donald Trump actually won 52% of white women. 52% of white women voters. So much for sexism. This was a repudiation of Hillary Rodham Clinton, her corruption. It was a repudiation of the liberal, not leftist, because liberals are not leftist, media. That's what this was. This was a repudiation of the liberal, not leftist media. Everybody on CNN who just told us every 4 minutes about something Donald Trump said while ignoring Hillary Clinton's long history of corruption. This was a big fuck you to Hollywood. Huge fuck you to Hollywood. I'm not even gonna lie to you right now. I just saw Miley Cyrus on TV crying and I laughed my ass off again.
Okay. So probably like most people that are gonna see, well, maybe not, because given the result, maybe I really am different, and maybe a lot of people that I'm surrounded by think with open minds and open hearts like I do. And I do want to say that I've been very vocal for my support for everyone besides Donald Trump. Heavily supported Bernie, heavily supported Hillary. And I still think that in her lifetime she deserves to be the first female president. And that's what makes me so sad. Is that I just wish that she had that opportunity because she's fought for so long. And because I believe her when she says that she loves this country. This is all she's ever done. She's given her life to make it better.
And in hip hop, and even in country now, and everything else, rock and roll, everything that's garbage now is these same companies. They're all connected. They're all connected. Hollywood, the music industry, are the propaganda wing of the corporate state. Therefore, what these artists say has no credibility whatsoever. None whatsoever. And it's also, let me just say this, the arrogance of the political elites in this country. Oh, there's something wrong with them. There's something wrong with people, white working class people. They're just racist. Obama won rural white voters in Pennsylvania. Hillary Clinton lost them. Explain that. White liberal? Genius? Explain that to me. Tell me how Obama did better in some of these places with white working class and poor people than Hillary Clinton did. And she white. Tell me how Donald Trump did better or equal to Hispanics with Hispanics than people like Mitt Romney and all those other people did. I guess all the blacks and Hispanics who voted for Donald Trump, they all racist too? It is your arrogance, your narcissism, your educational, intellectual vanity. That is the reason you lost. That is why you deserve to lose. It is because you never look in the mirror. You are the least self-aware people in this country. It is because you prioritize transgender bathrooms and a gay agenda over the poor, over the working class. You prioritize safe spaces and political correctness over doing things like stopping TPP, and getting rid of the legislation that hurt working class people. One thing I found very telling was right before Joe Biden came out and advocated in favor of gay marriage, right? Scott Walker was being recalled in Wisconsin. And I remember there was an opportunity for Barack Obama and Joe Biden to go out there and give a rousing speech to the public in Wisconsin to save labor unions, to save the labor unions that were in trouble due to Scott Walker, the Republican governor, trying to get rid of. They didn't come out there. They didn't go out there to Wisconsin. Instead, they went back to the White House. Joe Biden makes his announcement in favor of gay marriage. Obama follows suit. And we never heard about the labor issue again. I'm not a homophobe. I'm pro everybody doing what they want. It's a free country. This is America. You're an adult. Let adults be adults. As long as you're not inconveniencing the rest of society with whatever it is you're doing, as long as you stay away from children and dogs, I'm good. Okay? But let's not prioritize these wedge issues, gay marriage, abortion, transgender bathrooms, over the things that put food on people's tables. Just because they are more important to you and all your Manhattan liberal friends does not mean that is what is important where I come from in Indiana. Because where I'm from, people want jobs. They want food. They want health care. And let's not pretend that Obamacare wasn't a disaster. It is. It's a disaster. Just like all us leftists told you it would be a disaster. As long as you leave the profit motive in healthcare, then it will always be a disaster for us. There was only universal healthcare, single payer universal healthcare. That's the only way to go forward. And you knew that. Obama didn't even fight for a public option. He fought to get Obamacare, which was better known as Romney Care, passed. This is what you get. This is what you get. And let me just say this. Let me just express some more disgust with people in hip hop for latching themselves onto a woman who supported the Clinton crime bill that sent millions of black youths to prison. Millions of black people to prison. Millions. Bill Clinton put more black people in prison than Ronald Reagan. How dare you? Tell me I gotta support that. I supported Jill Stein. Unfortunately, we did not get to the 5% that we were looking for, but I still don't regret the vote that I made for a third-party candidate. The Democrats do not have my vote, and they will not have my vote until they become the party of the working classes and the poor. And they stop with the belligerent identity politics that are a distraction from real issues. There is real racism in this world. Real racism ain't intersectional. Real racism is class warfare. Real racism is the prison industrial complex, which is rooted in the war on drugs, which has destroyed the lives of 45 years of black men in this country. It is rooted in the military industrial complex where black and brown people in the Middle East and Africa are destroyed and are brutalized by U.S. bombs, often dropped by a black president named Barack Hussein Obama. Real racism is rooted in the corporate industrial complex, where the media is owned by 6 companies, none of them black owned, obviously. And where black voices are often silenced by white gatekeepers. And they get to tell us how to be black at BET and on MTV and on VH1, where they put out love and hip hop and all this other garbage out there. That's what racism is. Now, the reason I'm saying all this is because it's time for the Democratic Party to stop making excuses for why you lost. It's time to stop blaming everybody but yourselves. You've lost state houses, you've lost legislators, you've lost governorships across the country. It's time to start looking in the mirror. The neoliberal, neoconservative, Clintonian New Democrat has to be phased out. Now, there's a next generation of people out there. There's Keith Ellison. There's Tulsi Gabbard. There's Nina Turner. There's a whole host of young Democratic Party talent out there who are not for furthering the prison industrial complex, the military industrial complex, the corporate industrial complex, like the Clintonian New Democrat. It's important to not stifle this next generation. It's time for the Democrats to recognize that working class white people aren't just poor, ignorant hicks to be ignored and who you can write off as just racist. How productive is that? It isn't productive. It's time to put your big boy and big girl pants on and actually serve the public. Or you will lose in 2018, and you'll lose in 2020, and you'll lose in 2022. All the Hollywood liberals like Amy Schumer and John Oliver cheering for you will not stave off the onslaught of populist rage. It's time to fix your party, Democrats. It's time to wake up and realize what the people want. And it's not more celebrities who work for major media conglomerates telling them who to vote for and telling them that they want to exterminate white men, straight white men like Lena Dunham did. It's time to get real. Focus on the working class. Focus on the poor. Focus on populist issues, class issues. You want to help black people? Focus on class issues, poverty, universal health care, jobs. This is the way you empower black people and Hispanics. Stop thinking all Hispanics are going to vote the same way based on illegal immigration. Trump did better with Hispanics than Mitt Romney did. Cubans, Puerto Ricans. These people have no reason to sit there and agree with large-scale mass illegal immigration coming across the southern border from Mexico. Understand that. All Hispanics are not Mexican. All black people are not just going to fall in line behind the Democratic Party machine because you tell us to, or because Obama tells us to, or because Jay-Z and Beyonce tells us to. It's time to actually be about what you say you're about. It's time to be the party you say you are, and not just the party of Wall Street, Hollywood, San Francisco, and Silicon Valley. It's time to be the party of the people. And with that, I say, God bless the working class, God bless organized labor, and death to the corporate state. This has been The Chemist, and this is The Chemical Reaction.